are live today. It's been a week. Especially in Texas. It's really hot here. And last week we had events going on. 4th of July, the 250th anniversary. A lot of AI stuff still coming in and changing all the time. Scott's got things coming up, and so that's where we're at today. Um, so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that we're still heading out to the goodness of life. Every day we have that choice to decide what our day's going to be like. And this morning, not to complain about anything, but for the last 3 weeks, my foot was really bad and I could hardly walk. I could walk though, and I kept walking. And then I'd get in my hot tub every day. And then I went to the doctor yesterday and I got a little sound treatment on my foot, and it's 90% better today. So I'm walking without a limp today, which is good. So each win, because everything we do, we can, when we get up, we decide how our day's going to go most of the time. We say, hey, it's going to be a great day, or we just go, oh, it's going to be a really terrible day. But whatever you set out is going to make a difference how your day actually goes. And the other thing is, it's not what happens to us in life, it's what we're going to do with it. So, what are you doing each day when you get up to have a better day than yesterday? Now, you don't always have to do better than you did yesterday, yet it's always good to have something that you can rely on to get back to where you were before. What motivates you to do what you want? What's your motivations? And a lot of people will do like a whole list of all the things that's motivating them to get there where they want every day. And they look at that list. And there might be another thing you can put on that list, what motivates you to get what you want. And the more you focus on those things, the more you'll find those things, because we know there's a reticulating activating system. Basically, what you look for, you find. So, what are you looking for each day when you get up? Are you looking for success? Are you looking for happiness? Are you looking for money? Are looking to be in good health? Because one of the pillars of happiness is health. And I can tell you, with some of the issues I've had in the last few years, it did take my happiness, even though I'm a happiness coach, it did take my happiness down. And that's just the way life is. Every day we deal with the same thing. Are we going to choose to be happy, or are we going to choose to focus on the things that make us unhappy? So uh, today we're focusing on both. The things that really makes us kind of weary. Scott and I was talking the other day. Basically, there's a lot of people don't understand AI, and a lot of people don't even understand what they have to do to keep their company running, because there's so many little winding wheels going around all the time to keep your company. It's not only you have to answer the phone, which AI can help with, and it's not only that you have to have some kind of advertisement or something where people will see you. It's not only that, you have to be able to do the job you're saying you can do. And not only after that, are you as good or better than the people in the marketplace? Where are you putting yourself in the where the money is? Are you a Kmart? Or I see it one under. Are you a Walmart? Are you a Target? Are you a Macy's? Always there's tier marketing, and where do you fit in? Are you just the good? Are you the best? Are you lower tier? You got to find out where you are, and find your perfect avatar. I was telling Scott the other day, we need to find him, what works for him within his AI business, which is, such a cool thing. He can set you up where not only you don't have to answer the phone till you get a Zoom call. The AI can do almost the whole sales pitch all the way along the way, and you don't even have to worry about it. When that call comes in, you can be doing a different event, and then you still get that lead and you still don't lose money on it, because how much money are you losing on leads that you're not answering the phone? Now, the other way you could hire a secretary, but how much is a secretary? They could cost a potentially a little chunk of your, if especially if you're a small business, a chunk of your money. I'm not saying a secretary not worth their weight. Yet you can get an AI secretary for a lot less. They can work overtime. You don't have to pay them. So there's all these other benefits. So uh, that's where I'm at for this second. Where are you at this moment, Scott? What do you think?
Well, with the business, I didn't have social media accounts, so I went through all today and created social media accounts, and then I've already created an AI to do posts every single day. So basically, it'll make a post just so you stay current and people just want to see if you're doing anything. Not like you have to be viral on social media, but if somebody wanted to look up your business, you'd want to have something a little bit current or at least a digital footprint. And a lot of people don't get started because they think they have to have already been successful, not realizing everybody starts from somewhere. So yeah, AI is only as good as what you put into it. I had somebody inside of my school group yesterday uh, ask me a question, and I didn't even know how to answer it because the question was so broad. The question was something along the lines of, "What are you doing that I'm not doing?" And it's like, well, what stage are you talking about? Like, I even took that question and put it into Chat GPT and said, this was my response. And their initial, like Chat GPT's initial, response was that I was brushing him off. And I was like, there's a video series inside of the school group that I said, go watch the video series. And that's what I said inside the chat. So I wasn't really brushing him off. I mean, and then I had to correct ChatGPT because that'll feed you information that isn't true if you're not conscious enough to catch it. So I said I didn't brush him off. I said he wasn't asking a proper question that I could give a proper answer to. And then if you didn't have the education of how to ask the right question, fucking can't answer it. What am I doing that you're not doing? Let me count the fucking ways. What are you talking about? There's not a simple answer. It's are you getting the results you want?
So, and I totally agree with you, Scott, on that. There's so many ways. What's that? Skin a fish or whatever the sayings are. There's just so many ways to do stuff. And how in the world could you know what he doesn't know what you know? I mean, basically, you say probably everything. you know, on that sense, you say, well, be more specific. Basically, are we talking about marketing? We talking about AI? We're talking about it's too broad. You're right. I mean, that was just like, give me everything in the world that I'm not doing that you're doing. And you
Let
would,
me write
my
you an
question
essay.
would be, how would I know what you're doing? I haven't got your blueprint of everything you ever done and where you came from, and it all matters. And how many events have you done? Where have you done them? What kind of venue do you work in? Are you, there? Where's your avatar? And there's so
What's
much.
your budget? What do you
What's your
want to do?
budget?
Like,
Yeah, and and when you get the business, are you going to be able to handle the business? How much business do you
yeah,
want?
what's your aspirations?
So
Expectations?
yeah, so I totally agree with you. That's too open to end to give a real educated guess, except probably a whole bunch. There's look where I'm at, look where you're at. Here's give me some specifics. Is it going to be on the advertisement? It's going to be on the function? Is it going to be on who I'm hiring, what I'm hiring, how I'm hiring, where my prices are? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
that's the thing too, right? Like if you're too open, then they get lost because they don't understand all of the different steps that I understand. I had sat down with somebody who makes millions of dollars a year, and I said, he asked me how much, and I was like, what do you want me to build? Do you understand the customer journey? Do you understand the lead journey? Do you have a blueprint for this? Do you have I started asking just simple questions, and the guy froze. Like, and I was like, fuck, I lost this guy. And he's a whale, right? Like, and I didn't mean to lose him. I was trying to be as customizable as possible. Like, this guy just wants to know how much money you're gonna make me. And it's like,
Right.
well, you can't put a number on that, but I promise you, I can make you what I'm worth, you know. But if you don't know what you want, then and then he said he was going to schedule a meeting with me later, and I blew it. Like or he just never got back to me or hasn't responded to anything that I've sent out since. So I was like, well, he's going to see me in Atlantic City, so maybe if he sits in on my class, he'll understand better. But he didn't understand at all because when you build a business, he's really good at building a business by talking to people, like management, relationships, that kind of thing. I don't do none of that shit. Like, but someone will feel comfortable as shit inside of my ecosystem because all the questions that anybody would ask have already been answered or in their inbox, and he doesn't operate like that. I consider that more of an old school way because he didn't have these things that I know how to do then, right? And he's older, but again, he makes millions. So um
If
I
it's
lost
not broken, you don't have to fix it,
I
maybe.
fucking lost him. And he understands that he's losing money because he doesn't have systems. He knows that. But he just
But
wanted to know
right
how
there,
much of
you
that I
be
can.
what you're worth right there, just by setting you up.
But he wanted to know
By
how I was going to clean that up. So my questions were, how would you like me to clean that up? Because I could clean that up multiple different ways. Or I think he just wanted me to hold his hand and bring it through. But I only had elevator pitch time, so I lost the pitch, because I was more worried about like, well, talk to me. Like, he didn't want to. Like, he thought it was already built. Like like, oh, I'll buy the machine. Well, I can build you the machine to your to
right.
your expectation.
But
But
that's
he just wanted the machine. Like,
you can put that against hypnosis. People come to you and say, "Fix me," and then the point is, we can't fix you. The only person can fix you is you. We can guide you. We can give you a plan to help you get where you want to go. Yet we can't give you the exact map. You're going to have to find that within yourself because nobody has it but you. And this is what people don't understand. And they come to you and they say, "Hey, do this." And you said, "Well, there's two ways to do that. You've got multiple amount of money. I could do everything I did for my company and put it in yours, but that's probably not what you want. But what I'm doing really right now is the lead. This is what would save you a lot of money in every lead what your lead's worth."
every
Go ahead.
business has like their own flow of how they
Right.
operate. Like how
That's what
different
he's
is it
not
from what I'm
getting.
doing? Like,
He's got this ideal, it's a cookie cutter thing that you can just put in any situation, and yes, you can, yet you have to adapt it to the exact, you got to modify it for each individual, what they're doing and what their goals are, because again, you could come in and say, all I want to get more leads. Now you get him 1,000 leads a day, but they're calling and they're not the leads he wants because he didn't specify he needed an avatar. They had to be this age, this demographic, where they had enough money to buy his service. Why would you put a million where you get a million calls for somebody who can't even buy your service? So this is what he's not understanding. You have to break it down to more to the lower level, are you going to just be spending way too much money for things you didn't even want? Now, again, what is it do you want? Do you want more leads or do you want the leads at the end of the day saying
so
yes to
I
what your
can't
product is?
guarantee more leads, right? For that type of business, right? Like, these are people, like, if you want it more people that are getting married, these people, will go online. So you have to like either pay to be like in a service like the Knot or something like that if you want more leads, or they already have connections to everybody in town, so their leads come from the venues and stuff. So To give this guy more leads would have to be like on the corporate side, where if you wanted more leads, then you would just scrape Google and then get all the businesses that might be potential, for what your services are like, because they have, photo booths and screens and all that other kind of stuff, where that might be beneficial to find more leads. But like, I don't think it's a lead issue like coming in. I think it's like a management as they come in. Because if you don't keep in touch with everybody, they just, book with whatever is easiest to them, or what they feel more comfortable with, or who responds to them more, or who answers their questions the fastest. That'll book you more than, creating more leads. You want more customers, so you can take the leads you already have and convert more of those into customers.
Right.
And that's only if your operations can handle more business. Because if you get more
Yeah.
business and you can't handle them, that's not good, right? Like,
So that's why it's really important when you're doing the AI is to make it more fitted to exactly what the client's wanting. Uh,
they don't have
you
any
know,
email operations. So if they go to a bridal show and they get all this freaking information and they collect all this emails, they don't have like an automated way to keep up with that. That's
right.
that's ridiculous. That's absurd. That's burning money. Like,
Some Here's what I used to say: it's sometimes you got to spend money to make money, and that's how I've always
well,
seen it. But
he
in my
wants to spend
business,
money, right? Like he bought the LED wall because, oh, I don't know, that'll get me more events, right? Like he not only did he buy the LED wall, he bought the entire display at the convention. So he went to the convention. There was an LED wall, an LED DJ booth, and this company had all this stuff up. He just walks up to it and says, "Box it all up and mail it to me."
at least he knew it was running.
It works.
It works. Well, that's one part of the battle. Even if you buy something new, doesn't mean it works.
Well, well, that's how that whale operates, right? Like,
Right. Well, he's doing the thing where do what you do best and let the others do the rest. I don't need to handle this. It's yours. You do that. How much it's going to cost me? That's the kind of person he is. He doesn't care about the details, basically. Who cares
yeah,
about those
and that's
details?
where I
All I
lost.
need is how much you're going to do to get my to the other side. I mean, what's this worth to me to go with you? The answer is, there's no guarantees yet. What it does for my company and what I think is really good, it takes away a lot of that time that you would have to be spending on the phone, or one of your employees would have to be on the phone, and it breaks it down and they can do it automatically 24 hours a day without having to be somebody on call like that. So that's one of the big things. And the leads get all the information they need to book. And then if they got the Zoom call, you're probably at an 80%, you can book it. Now you're going to have a good salesperson. And if you're not that person, then you want to get that person who can sell it at the end.
Well, it's just an automation where the people he has a sales team. All they have to do is show up and answer their Zoom appointments. And I can even put that on what's called a round robin calendar. So basically, a round robin calendar is if I was getting married and I wanted to show somebody that I had a busy calendar, then it would be like, oh, this is my person. It's preferred, but it'll bounce me to the next person. So a round robin is, oh, I want 11 o'clock on Monday, but if you wanted this guy, you would wait till like 3 or something like that, or oh, this guy's taking the week off, but it doesn't tell you no. It says it goes to the next person down the line, which is kind of cool. But anyway, again, those are just tactics. Those are just operational stuff. He doesn't give a fuck about that. Like, I mean, he wants it, but he doesn't know. He doesn't want to learn about it.
I'm definitely more like him. Like, hey, you just tell me what it's going to cost and you do it for me. And then
Yeah,
set
but I
that up
don't
in
have
my.
any like buy this and like, but I'll make it for you. Like,
So,
the industry, the DJ industry is like not really been tackled territory really for this kind of stuff. Like, Like, because I don't know, the people that do own businesses, probably won't spend the money to have something like that built. Or like yesterday, the guy was like, "Oh, I got this free chat widget on my website. Well, you want to take a look at it?" Fuck no, I don't want to take a look at it. I'm like, I don't give a shit about some fucking free chat widget you got on your website. Travel all around the world. I understand that these chat widgets, what they do, how they do automation, how they set triggers, you know, like how they keep people in what is called the pipeline, like, your fucking chat widget doesn't even take a name and phone number when it starts up. Ours does. The whole reason is so that you can keep in touch with them after they leave your website. Because if they just get their information and run, you can't do marketing to them. And it takes 12 to 18 times of someone to see your freaking business before they decide to go with you. So yeah, it's free for a reason. But yeah, you want me to look at it? I'll tear it apart. Like,
Yeah,
if free doesn't give you any business, then yeah, there you go.
I hate that word, but we use it to each other all the time. How's that working for you?
Yeah, yeah.
If
Yeah,
it's
check out this
if
free chat widget I got on my website. No, I don't want to.
there's so many nowadays.
Yeah, I know. And it's like everybody just thinks there's an easy button out there. And then like, well, there's more underneath the layers. It's like, yeah, if someone comes to your website and you just give them information, that's great.
But how do you get the
How,
lead to come and give
how
you
many of
a
those
Zoom
businesses you
call?
think they're going to do it to? And what if the other business gets their name and phone number and then follows up with them?
Yeah. Well, there's so many steps with business, and I think what you come across a lot is with people who don't understand that there's so many little steps to get an event. I mean, first they have to have something they're looking for, and then they've got to be able to find you when they're looking for that, whatever it is. Like weddings, you said they could be in the wedding books, or they could be in somewhere
Yeah,
online.
so weddings are in particular because they need a certain service, right? So you have to be where they're looking, to do it, unless you have some sort of like, like a venue, like they'll just check you off the list, and then oh, you're automatically getting that gig. So if you do get that, like I've picked up gigs for not being like I'm not on the list, but they're calling me anyway because the whoever was on the list wasn't fucking answering the call, right? So they're like, oh yeah, we've sent out all these different emails and no one's calling. That's how we got a hold of you. They got a hold of me because I'm number one on Google. How'd you get to number one on Google? $6,000 every couple of years. That's how I got there. Like, on top of having monthly services and a Google business listing, right? So that's how they find me. But it's not always about being in, and that's something too that kind of sucks about this freaking business is that I'm being xed out because I'm not the put your arm over your shoulder and add me to the list guy. Because think about it like this is the thing that freaking has just been pissing me off is that like there's garbage DJs out there, we all know it, there's fucking horrible people out there, and what do? They go to these venues, and then the venue sees this garbage person, and then they're like, oh yeah, now we need a preferred list, and they're going to be preferred list with anybody that put their arm around their shoulder and say, hey, why don't you get me, and then we'll X out these other people. And then all of a sudden now we got these venues that only do these preferred lists, and they get one, two, or three or something like that. So later along the line I go, hey, look, I see you got a preferred list. Why wasn't I invited to this, round table or whatever? How did I get excommunicated out of this freaking whatever? So anytime I get a call, it's from these other jerks that weren't answering the call to begin with, but I got all these services and everything, so I end up getting back in there, and it's like, hey, look, I should be on this list. Why am I not on this list? And well, maybe I don't have a persona with people than other people. So anyway, I can count five off the top of my head that I've been X out of, but I still get back in there to do events because these other people are just garbage with their internal service, and then they're just lazy to begin with, but they're good at talking to people, right? So at least they got that. This business is just horrible. I need something that's more consistent. If you owned a freaking auto mechanic store, like people's cars break down all year long. Or if you owned an air conditioning in Florida or Texas or something like that, all year long. Freaking DJs and nothing going on in the summer. So there's that.
There's pool parties.
Not that I'm in part of. Maybe those
But
guys that are good at putting their arm around other people's shoulders have got those.
right,
I don't know.
that's those guys.
So that's not my game. I'd rather sit here in this freaking office and just send emails out all day. Um, but apparently it takes more talents. Like, how many more talents can you get? How many more people can you hire? How much more guarantee is there going to be? How much hustle can you put in for a $250 gig out by the pool from 12 to 3 or whatever it is? Like, is it worth it? Like, I remember leaving those shifts going, hey, look, I just need to book one wedding. That's $200 for a retainer. Like, okay, that was way better than going out and sweating it out from 12 to 3 or 12 to 4 or whatever it was for 200, $250. Man, I don't know. But this summer is drier than most for whatever reason. But business comes and goes. But AI will respond. I don't know.
Let me give you a hug, Scott. It's
This
okay.
business is horrible. And then you're dealing with DJs that just freaking think they know everything, right? Or they, oh, I got this free thing, or what are you doing? You can't teach me how to do anything. Like, and then those people that are saying that shit to you, that aren't doing anything worth a damn to begin with, right? Or somebody will tell you, hey, look, we did all these sales. Well, did you do all that, or are you just part of a sales team and like you kind of contributed a little bit to it? Like, the 450 grand in my company, I made. Like, I set it all up, trained everybody. So, but these other people think they still on your platform, that they can still, like, talk shit to you or something like that. Those are my favorites.
They're out there. Those guys. Those guys.
Anyway, looks like my transmission needs to be changed on my black van, and they keep calling me. So
Got to get on that. And that's another thing. You got a company. Stuff's going to happen every day somewhere. You know, you need more stuff for your wall. You need more microphones because one blew out. One of your vans.
yeah, I gotta do the van
Have
right
a
now. Actually,
transmission. You know.
transmission is going to be replaced today. So
Yeah.
anyway, actually, I gotta do that. It's a second. So I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, man. Hey, everybody, have a good day.